James Twin for the untouchable true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so I've been wanting to sound off on this for about a week or so now, maybe even a little longer, because really and truthfully, you guys know I've been covering Janibek on this channel for some years now, probably like 4 or 5 years, probably longer than most people. I like Janibek. Janibek is a good fighter, and he's turned into a the unified middleweight champion of the world. Albeit it's at a time where the middleweight division is as weak as it's ever been. So he had a fight not so long ago, about a week or two ago, against the New Zealander, the Russian New Zealander, Andrei Mikhailovich, and 21-0, 13 knockouts, pressure fighter, bit of a slugger. Guy has a very colorful personality, engaging personality. And Janibek missed weight. Janibek showed a lot of unprofessionalism. He didn't make the weight. He had to even get rushed to the hospital to make the weight. So this is what it comes down to. And this is where Janibek's career is at, because and this what I'm gonna say doesn't just apply to Janibek. It applies to a lot of fighters. A lot of fighters are killing themselves to make these weight classes, sucking down all the way to as small as they can get to have that size advantage, rehydrate to have that physicality advantage, and they're damaging themselves badly. And if Janibek had to get rushed to the hospital and it got that bad for him making weight, and I know he said he wants to continue to fight at middleweight, forget all that. He needs to move to 168. He needs to become a super middleweight, because for one, this kid, and mind you, I didn't know a ton about him until this fight got made, but this kid, Mikhailovich, if I'm even saying his name right, he did the right things. Like, he went up the ranking system. He signed the contract. There are some fighters out there that don't want to fight Janibek. I'm not gonna say everyone's ducking him, but I know that there are some fighters that don't want to fight him. He fought him. He came all these thousands of miles to the States to fulfill his dreams in Vegas, to try to attempt to become champion, and this guy misses weight. So he got screwed. And if Janibek is going to stay at 160, he needs to fight him, because he was screwed horribly. But here's the dilemma. And by the way, before I get into the dilemma of Janibek, he has to provide his medicals to the I think the Nevada Commission to make, just so that they know that this isn't all nonsense or whatever, because I was reading about that. But the dilemma for Janibek is I think there's a bit of a dilemma, because now it appears with him missing weight so severely to the point where he literally had to go to the hospital, he's now gonna be too big for 160, but he might be too small for 168. Meaning that he is in the worst place a fighter can be at when they're trying to find a way to find where they're campaigning at, which is a tweener. He's a bit of a tweener, because he's bigger and stronger than the majority of 160-pounders. So when you factor in Janibek's combination and blend of speed, size, experience, amateur experience, punching power, at 160, it makes him a very difficult guy to beat, especially out that southpaw stance. But now when you don't got that size advantage, and it just comes down to the boxing skills, and maybe you get some guys that can muscle you around a little bit, can you win those fights? That remains to be seen. Janibek hasn't really expressed a real burning desire to move to 168. And really and truthfully, I think he should move. If you can't make the weight and you got to go to the hospital, and it's going to be a genuine concern now. Because think about it. If he missed weight this badly for this fight, every time he fights in 160 now, it's going to be a genuine concern. Not just from the boxing fans, the promoters, but his team and even himself. So to eliminate all that, to eliminate all the doubts and confusion, just go to 168. And there's good fights out there for you. You got the likes of I know he's a top-ranked fighter, so top-ranked don't really got 68-pounders. So maybe that's the dilemma. But you could fight like a Diego Pacheco or something like that, or Christian and Billy. I think those are probably two fights. If he were to go to 168, he could go up to 168. He could fight a Pacheco, a Christian and Billy, a Eric Bosnian. Who's the other guy? Kevin Lee, Sajo. There's names in the 168 division. There's guys that maybe aren't like gonna command the big money, but there's good fights out there for him. And at this point, you know, it's got to be about health. You got to prioritize the boxer's health and save them from themselves. Yes, he's champion. Yes, he's unified champion, but you had to get rushed to the hospital because you couldn't make the weight. And I've been saying it I've been thinking it to myself for a little bit of time now, like the last couple of fights. Like, Janibek's huge. He's big. And, you know, it just is what it is. It really is what it is when it comes to this whole situation. I wish nothing but the best. I'm a Janibek fan. Have been for some years now. But this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. And my thing is this, okay, let's just say hypothetically, if he's got 2 fights at middleweight left, let's say he has Andrei Mikhailovich, and let's just say he does beat him like he's expected to, right? After that, you got to fight Carlos Adames. Like, you got to go ahead and give the boxing fans, which right now is the best fight that could be made in the division, as far as, you know, champions and names and that kind of thing. But Janibek versus Carlos Adames is a great fight. It's a fight with history, and you know, there's been rumors about what happened in the sparring and whatnot. And look, maybe it's not Janibek's fault completely, but like 160, his resume at 160 ain't the best. I know Andrei didn't want to fight him, which you know, you guys know how much I went off on Andrei and how heartbreaking that was for me as a, you know, big Andrei fan. But his resume is not that great. So either he go to 68 and go explore a future there and try to become a 2-division champion, or he just get to business at 160 and just have 2 more fights. Mikhailovich, he can beat him, then maybe Adames, and then that's what it's got to be, because there really is no reason to carry yourself for fights at this weight. The division is not good. Like, 160 is probably the worst division in boxing, as far as, especially if you're a champion. If you're a champion at 160 right now, there's not any big lucrative fights. Like, there's nobody from 54 coming up, and there's nobody from 68 coming down. That's a big name. So the current crop of guys is the current crop of guys. But that's the news. I just wanted to kind of get my thoughts on Janibek. Missing weight and being unprofessional, missing the weight and getting rushed to the hospital. It's time to move up, brother. It's time to go to 168. And I'll leave it at that. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. I'm at the Boxing Hall of Fame out here in Canterfield, New York. And for more great boxing content just like this video, make sure you click and subscribe right over here.